Hi, I'm Joe Hauser. I was raised in a very religious family. As I got older, I really didn't agree with some of their teachings. Kind of felt like a hypocrite going to their services, so I would stop going, and then I knew I needed God in my life more. I would start going, and I would feel like a hypocrite again, and because you couldn't be part of their church if you didn't follow their teachings. I came to a point where my life was falling apart. My granddaughter passed away. She was 2 months old. My son was getting a divorce from his wife, so we couldn't see our oldest grandchild. My marriage was falling apart. My sons were in Iraq, and I was just losing it. And my daughter, finally, she invited me to a church she was going to. I went. Well, the religion I was going to, they taught you go to another church, it's a sin. So I was leery about going, but I knew I needed Christ in my life. I needed him closer. So I went with my daughter, and I realized this isn't a sin. I'm getting closer to God. I continued to go, and I wanted to be a member of the church there, but I was afraid of change. I didn't want to change, and it just hit me that, well, Christ will accept me for who I am, so I kind of made it up in my head that I wasn't going to change, and little by little I started changing. Songs would come on the radio, and it's like, oh, I don't want to listen to that. I don't want to be on a highway to hell, or certain shows I would watch, they weren't funny to me anymore. Going out to the bars, I didn't enjoy it anymore. I didn't enjoy hanging out with certain people where all we did was drink, and I really started changing. I'm not afraid of the change anymore. I'm welcoming it more, and I can't wait for certain things because I do have a long way to go. I remember the first time that I would watch people in church during worship, how they would raise their hands, and I was like, oh, just to be at that point in your life, that's got to be amazing. And because it's got to come from the heart to do it. I was driving on a highway in Ohio one time, and a song came on the radio that really touched my heart, and my hand just automatically went up and praise, and I had to pull over because I just started crying, and it was just a great time in my life. I couldn't believe I did it, and it was like, wow, I wonder if those people know. Hi, I'm Joe Hauser. I started going to Wyandotte Family about a year ago. I was raised in a very religious family, which I did not agree with their teachings. I always believed in God. I always believed in Christ. And I felt like a hypocrite going to their church. And I knew I would stop going and go back and stop going. I knew I needed a church to go to where I could become closer to Christ. And then when my life started falling apart, my daughter invited me to Trinity Wesleyan, and I realized it was a good thing for me. It was bringing me closer to Christ. With everything that was happening, I would actually go to sleep at night and pray that God would take me. I would wake up in the morning and pray that He would give me a reason to live. And finally I just laid down and said, I can't do this no more, and put my life in His hands. And it was like the weight of the world was off my shoulders. Just the change. Things still kind of went south in my life, but I was able to deal with it much better. I was supposed to changing, and Jeremy actually did a sermon, I believe it was called Follow, where it was follow me and you will change. And that's kind of like what happened in my life. I really didn't want to change, but once I started going to church more, I realized I was pretty amazed how my life was changing. I didn't like shows that I used to watch, or music I listened to, or hanging out where I hung out and drinking. And it was slow changes, and it took a while, and I still have a long way to go. But I look forward to the changes now. I'm not afraid of them anymore, and I really can't wait till I change more.